gonna curl up here and take a nap.
Okay. I'll wake you up in 2 hours after I've monologued myself. Alright, we're live.
Boomer, dude, come on. Really?
As soon as we go live.
What? Why?
I want to be a star.
Oh,
Fuck whatever that was.
what are you doing? Don't snag. No, don't snag this sweater. No. 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 No, 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 no. Come on, man. Come on, you're gonna make me fart.
Nobody wants that right now.
Oh, too late. No. Oh, oh, oh. Oh.
Ears back. Get in there.
Oh, it stinks in here.
Just
Oh.
nuzzle in. Get all up in there. Yeah, that's the stuff.
He's just gonna stare at me.
Stare at you and get that hot dog breath right up in your face.
Apparently I needed a bath.
Oh, it never gets old. I'm just gonna hang out here. What are you up to? Hey, Dimebag.
Stop. Stop. I'm not in the mood. Can you get down, please? Please? Can you get down?
Just the tip?
Can you get down? Boomer?
No.
Get
No,
down.
I'm good. I'm okay.
Get down. Get down. Get
No. No, no.
See, I'm getting Consueled over here.
Yeah.
No,
No.
Get down. No, Mr. Griffin.
No.
No,
No,
see.
Mr. John. No.
No,
Mr.
no.
Juan.
Oh! Oh!
The giblets.
Oh, you're just like digging in my neck. Alright, get on. Please, thank you. Please, thank you.
Martha, call an ambulance.
And the reveal.
And a young priest and an old priest. Oh.
Oh, so I took that off. It reminded me of like shearing a lamb. Like it just was like I just worked it down like one little bit at a time.
Oh. We didn't even talk about the most important news of this last week, Knobs. Did you see the news that Cartoon Network came out with? They're making a sequel to Fooly Cooly.
What?
They're making 12 more episodes with the original team.
Oh. How? What? Why?
You know why? Because Cartoon Network loves it so much and has so much money. They're apparently just going to hire that team to make more Fooly Cooly. I'm okay
I thought it just kind of went in a weird place and just left it there, which I'm perfectly okay with.
Yeah. I wasn't very excited until they said the original team is coming back, and then it's going to pick up years and years and years after the end of the first 6 episodes. So it could be interesting. And if it isn't, the first 6 episodes are really good.
Yeah, but then what did... I mean, like, they don't really explain why anything's going on in that anyway. Why? I don't understand. Like,
They explain some of it, but I always liked that it was... It's like these couple weeks where Haruka, destroys Naoto's life and then leaves without a trace. And leaves him a base, and that was really it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could be. Have you watched Ava yet?
No, not yet. I was too busy this week.
I mean, it's only been like a month.
Well,
I mean,
it's too busy this month then.
You know.
quitting my job and all, and then starting to take care of the house.
Well, you let me know, sir,
I will. It's sitting right here next to me.
because I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I thought I was starting to hit. As soon as you think you have a grasp on what's happening with
As
that
soon as 2 was over,
property.
you're like, all right, I think I can kind of get this. All
Okay,
right.
I got this.
For
What?
minute 1 of 3, you're just like, nope, nope, I can't. I'm out.
Minute one, fourth impact. What the?
Yeah. You're just
When did
making
this
up words
happen?
now.
Why is everyone so angry with Shinji more than normal?
Yeah. Maybe they just figured out. Maybe they hit their limit of him being a whiny bitch. Like, God, Shinji, shut up. Oh my god. Humans are dying. Shut up and get in the robot.
Yeah,
Just get in the robot.
you got one job.
You're like snapping your fingers, like, get in the robot. God damn it. Oh, I'm sorry you can pilot this giant cool robot and punch fucking angels in the face. So sorry. I do like Shinji, though. I'm actually like one of the few people that will defend Shinji.
No, I understand Shinji. I don't necessarily like him.
I think his American voice acting makes him seem whinier than he is. I think he's supposed to be indecisive, and I think his English voice acting tends to be a little bit whinier than maybe
Than
they
anticipated.
were. Yeah, maybe than they were trying to aim for.
I don't know.
I just want to watch Fully Cooley again now. I sort of want to take my wife on that ride. Be like, look, we're just going to take the next 3 hours. Just hang on. You're not going to understand everything your first watch through. Just let it happen.
Or your second.
Yeah. It took
or-
me
or your
quite a
s-
few times of watching that to figure out what's going on.
Same thing with Dead Leaves. Like I
Oh,
just
jeez, yeah. Just
Like, I
enjoy
remember-
the ride.
it doesn't matter. Blah blah blah. Butt sex
Yep.
saves the world.
Oh, I have a drill. Whoops.
Yeah.
Save the world.
That somehow creams.
God, that fucking movie. That's a ride.
I still think one of my favorite moments of us watching anime was when we watched Doom Megalopolis. and that fucking that
It's like, boy,
cock
this is
monster.
great. Oh, there's a monster.
It's
That's
like,
a dick.
What is coming out of her? Oh my god!
Just this bleh.
And this the way it just kind of went. It just poked its little head out and then went all the way and went. It's seared in my brain. I cannot unsee it.
The thing too is it's been over a decade. I still know exactly what that thing looks like.
His little.
I think my other favorite one is when you and I were watching Trigun. So here's a story for the viewers. And we were watching Trigun, and we watched. It was the first 13 or so episodes. It was like the first 3 discs out of 6 discs.
Yeah.
And we finished up. It was like 2 in the morning. We're like, all right, we'll pick up tomorrow. We'll start something new. Pop in the next disc tomorrow afternoon once we're done with classes. Fire it up. It's in space, and we're just like, cool. Did we put in disc 6? What's going on here? Nope. That was the next episode. We're just like, what the fuck? This was the desert for 13 sad episodes.
Oh yeah, like my favorite, like yeah, because we were so excited. 'Cause we were all in. Like
Yep.
we probably could have continued watching it that night. We're like, no, we're gonna be responsible. We got
We
class.
have classes in the morning.
The disc just ended, so awesome.
cut
This is a good
ourselves
place to
off.
stop. We put in disc 4, and then you see spaceships, and you're like,
They're
I don't
in-
recognize any of these people. We
They're in like
eject
astronaut suits and floating around, and we're just like, what the fuck?
we eject the disc, and we look at it, make sure it's the right anime, or like, did they sell us like the wrong disc in this
Right?
in this box set? And so we go, we put it back in, and it says episode 13, or what, 14 or 15,
Something
whatever,
like that, yeah.
wherever it started on disc 4, and we're like, do we just power through this,
Do
or
we just watch this?
And it was like a good like 15 minutes of considering like what do we do with this because we were so
Yeah.
confused.
And thankfully, only like 5 minutes into the episode, it was just like, oh, that's a flashback.
It's
Back to the
yeah,
desert.
okay. Yeah, so Vash and Knives are children and who the shit is Knives?
Right. What
Like
is happening? Man.
so
That's
they're
all I remember of
plants?
that show, by the way. I remember, one, I enjoyed it. Two, we cried at one point because somebody died.
Oh,
And then
dude.
three, we got confused between discs. Beyond
I
that,
that back half, those last 3 episodes are ridiculous.
mm,
Probably single-handed. I still will stand by this. Probably the best gunfight I have ever witnessed
oh
is
yeah,
at the end between Knives and Vash.
hmm.
You know the one where they have like their nose to nose with the guns, and they both like eject the bullets, and they each grab one and put it in, and they're like face to
Oh
face
right,
again. They're click click, click click, click click. Like I went,
oh yeah,
oh my god, what's happening?
shit, that was cool. Anime,
Or when he threw a fistful of bullets and then shot him in the air above him. Like it was awesome.
man, that was a good show.
It was for Wolfwood.
Yeah,
That was surprisingly a really fun character.
that was. I think that was a better show. I think that was around the time when people were saying like, "Oh, if you love Cowboy Bebop, watch Trigun." It's like I don't. It seems like it's kind of like a lesser than, but it was. It wasn't even the similar thing.
No.
It was of a same quality, but it wasn't like here are the
Well,
continued adventures of.
well, yeah, I mean, Trigun actually predates what really got us into anime, which would be the like the whole Toonami phase and
Mm-hmm.
Mobile Suit Gundam and whatchamacallit. I remember being
Tenchi Muyo.
Denji. Oh, I love Denji so much.
I was thinking about I was going through my DVDs and like moving them from crummy containers to better ones, and I saw that that I spent at Suncoast it was like $150 for 3 discs.
Yeah.
For to be clear for the video and for chat, 3 DVDs,
Yeah.
single layer DVDs. um, I found those again. I was like, I should go back and watch those, but I I don't know if I don't know if I would enjoy reliving the memory or if I would look at it and be like, this thing sucks, and I'm worried this thing has always sucked.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I put it
Because I
back in the
felt the
shelf.
same way. Like, 'cause I was real close to buying 3x3 eyes the other day, and I'm like,
Oh yeah,
was this as good as I remember it?
I think we enjoyed that. I think that was all right.
Because that was the Punishers, right? He was the
Yeah,
one
and I
did
think that
one.
was during like that was a late '80s, early '90s
Yeah.
anime, and that
So that
might
was
be
like Bastard, like that.
yeah. Bastard was okay.
Bastard's weird.
Yeah, Bastard is really weird. I don't know. I've been thinking about watching Cowboy Bebop again, and because my wife hasn't seen it, and I have the Blu-rays, so
Yeah, I
no
bought those.
better.
You know what's funny is how many different versions of the same thing we own.
Yep.
Like Ava is just ridiculous. You're one step beyond me. Like I picked it up at the platinum set,
Yeah, I picked up
like
the
the
DVDs
original
before that.
DVDs, like the black ones.
Yep, in that cool box that had
Yeah.
like the Ava's eyes on the side.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm genuinely surprised. There must be something going on. I'm genuinely surprised we don't have the Blu-rays out here.
Which ones?
The Blu-ray for the TV show.
For the original Ava run?
Yeah, something must have happened between who is this Funimation, between Funimation and Gainax because we. I would buy those again.
I would too. I'm
Almost
not, no
everybody
bullshit.
would. Especially if they
it's-
came with like the end of Ava stuff in there and like the alternate like 23 and 24 episodes.
Yeah.
Just put all that stuff in there. I don't care how much it costs. I'll buy it.
Yeah, we
I
would
got a
totally.
credit card. Toss it on there.
We're adults. We got
Yeah.
money. But yeah, like I would buy that stuff again. Like if they remastered Berserk, fuck yeah, I would buy that all over
Oh,
again.
that'd be great.
And I would love to see them remaster Gantz because I would love to own like a legit copy of Gantz.
I bet Berserk would clean up really nicely. I bet if you could find the original like the original film of that. I bet like Akira cleaned up really nicely for the Blu-ray.
Oh, dude, that's an understatement. I didn't
Yeah.
no idea it could look that good.
Did you ever watch the behind the scenes stuff that they put on that Blu-ray?
No,
They went frame by frame and cleaned up each and every individual frame.
that is crazy.
Like if you have a chance, pop it in and watch that because they'll show like a dude will have Photoshop open and will have one single frame and they do a time lapse between like, all right, we'll color correct, we'll take out all this fuzz, we'll take out this piece of hair, we'll clean up this part that's missing, we'll do another pass. They're doing like 10 passes on this thing for just one frame. And then they switch and they move to another, just the next frame. And it's just like, God, how much time did you guys spend on this?
You know, in all honesty, like it looks like they spent that time on it because
Yeah.
that's gorgeous.
It's amazing. And the thing that I think that is so impressive about that is they didn't fuck it up. Like they didn't mess with it. They just left it.
Yeah, no, they just did what you're supposed to do when you don't add stuff, you don't edit things, you just
Just clean it.
yes, fucking George Lucas, why don't you listen to this shit?
No, the thing I'm more upset about is the Aeon Flux DVD set. Hopefully you never
Oh,
bought that.
no, I did not buy that one.
Fuck, man. He screwed that up so bad. Because he went through and he added all this. The show looked bad when it came out. But that was kind of part of its charm. Was here's this thing on Liquid Television that looks weird like everything else on Liquid Television. And he went through and he like. The image is cleaned up and it looks much better. But then he goes through and he adds all this CG that just it just stands out way worse than any Star Wars stuff did.
Yeah. I just like, the Star Wars stuff just like why? I mean, I understand you couldn't do that stuff in the late 70s, early 80s, but why add it when people love your stuff already?
That's been always the part that's frustrating is like I we are content creators and maybe it's because we create something every week, but I've never felt the need to really go back to like episode 1 of TVGP and redo it. You know, like that old South Park joke of we're going to
Re-
redo the first episode. I've never really felt like that because like episode 1 of TVGP is going to be 8-9 years old now at this point. It's going to sound like crap because I was using a $5 microphone just to get started.
The stick mic.
Yeah, that stupid ass stick mic. Like, and I never felt like, well, let's get Brad and Ryan back in a room and let's record the whole thing over again, beat for beat. You know, like, that just sounds crazy.
Yeah, here's your script.
Yeah.
You do not stray.
Yeah. It's just,
Act normal.
and I'm sure I could go in there and I'm sure I could pop it in an audition nowadays and like clean up the audio and clean up all this stuff, but
The
then
background hum.
it wouldn't be that episode anymore. Like it wouldn't be this thing from 2007. It would be this thing from 2016.
2007.
And damn it, I like the original Star Wars movies. Just leave them alone.
I agree.
But everybody's doing, you know, the despecialized version or that version that came out a little bit ago where they restored that original work print
Yes.
from the 70s. Did you ever see any of the clips from that?
No.
Oh, it's beautiful. They went through and they basically had this real pink hue to it, I guess because the film was starting to decay. So they scanned the full thing in and then just cleaned up the whole thing and enhanced a little bit of the background stuff that got lost. But man, it's really good looking. Star Wars.
I do like Star Wars. So you seen Batman vs Superman yet?
No. I'm good. I'll wait for it to come out on Blu-ray. I'll pick it up then and just kind of watch it.
My impressions are pretty similar to what it was to The Force Awakens. Just kind of like, well,
like, okay, that was the
well,
thing.
I didn't hate it.
Yeah. I am I'm really surprised at how many people out there really, really hate it. I thought that most people would either you'll be DC fans and say like, "Oh my god, it was so amazing! Look at all this little stuff they did," like most comic book fans do for movies.
I think they were just gearing up because they were expecting to hate Deadpool. They were just locked and loaded, and you're like,
Yeah,
"Damn it, that was
like
good."
damn it, that was all right. Well, Batman,
Yeah,
we're
but
coming for you.
I think if anything, this is going to be probably their most decisive movie.
Yeah,
And it wasn't. Affleck was fine as
he seemed
Batman.
fine. Was he okay as Bruce Wayne?
Yeah, he was great. He was Affleck. He could play the shark from Jaws.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of people I think people can't go into DC movies expecting a Marvel movie. Because Marvel movies, there's enough stuff in there to make everybody happy. Even if you really don't know, even if you don't know anything about the Marvel universe, you'll still enjoy it. With DC, I think they're just a level removed from that, where you have to
Number
know a little bit.
No. Well, number one, if you're alive today and you don't know Batman's a fucking orphan,
That's true.
or his parents
Oh
got
my
killed
god,
in
did they
front of
tell the
him,
origin story again?
the first fucking scene of the
Oh
movie.
my god,
I almost
why?
walked out. I almost walked out.
Oh my
I
god.
was fired up. I was like, at this point, like this is it. Like, if some point they have to go to the flashback, they open the fucking thing with it.
That would be like opening Civil War with fucking Peter Parker getting bitten by the spider. Where it's like, dude, I fucking know. I know, everyone knows this.
That's the thing. Like, there has been how many Batman movies? You have the four previous three, seven Batman movies where they have referenced his parents being shot
Yep.
already. Already, not counting cartoons, not counting anything else.
The TV show, like
Yeah, the
multiple
TV
TV
show.
shows.
And Gotham. Like, for
That-
fuck's sake, that is at
It's
least
on
a
the air
dozen- it's at
currently.
least a dozen properties that have let you know that that Bruce Wayne is a fucking orphan.
That would be like having Superman racing a train in the movie and being like, he's faster than a speeding train.
That's the thing. Like I got in that conversation tonight. I was like, because like originally, Superman didn't fly.
Oh,
He
yeah,
just-
that's true.
He was like the fucking Hulk. He just jumps really high.
Yeah,
That
that's
why
true.
else would they say faster than a speeding bullet can leap a building in a single bound?
Right.
Because he could jump.
He couldn't fly yet. He didn't have the wingsuit from frickin' Crackdown. He could just jump over it.
Oh, and this thing is totally Zack Snydered out. You know what makes me sad is he did such an amazing job with the iteration of 300.
Yeah.
Like, that was just picture perfect. And then he did, and I think it's probably one of the most underrated movies that he has made to date is The Watchmen.
I thought Watchmen was great.
Was just beautiful and ultimate respect for the source material.
The only version of Watchmen I still want to watch is the extended one where it has the pirate
black
stuff.
The Black Freighter. mixed
Yeah,
in.
I haven't
Yes.
watched that one.
That one is like literally like going through like the comic and the whole. I think the thing that was lost in the theatrical version of The Watchmen was the interaction at the newsstand with
Right.
the black kid and the old guy.
Yeah, with over the comic.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's one of the few trade paperbacks, like trade comic collections that I have. Is
that's a
Watchmen.
great one to have.
Yeah.
Oh man, but it went into that, and like I even leaned over like during the period. It's like,
If they fucking started with this,
if like I swear to God,
burn this place to the ground.
I was like, look, if they reference it at some point in the movie, I'm just gonna be fucking furious. And it opens with them walking out of the opera, and Liz just bursts out laughing like hysterically, and I'm just like, motherfucker.
Every time.
And the parents in front of me just turned around and shot daggers at me just because I just said motherfucker in front of their kid. I was like, number one, this is gonna be a violent fucking movie. You're taking these kids out.
What is it rated? PG-13 or R?
I don't know.
Yeah, I
That
don't
movie's
know either.
violent too.
Batman and Superman are gonna punch each other for about an hour. You know what's coming.
But they drop all these fucking hints that no one knows, nor was even foreshadowed with. Like we had an idea when we saw the cosmic cube, in like you had these little MacGuffins peppered in a few of the previous movies, like in Iron Man and Thor. Not so much the Hulk.
Guardians of the Galaxy had some.
Right, Guardians, like, well, yeah, like you all knew what these things could possibly be or mean in the universe.
Yeah.
This, like, they drop in and there's fucking Darkseid's minions at one of these scenes with a giant Omega symbol, like in the middle of this one dream sequence with Bruce Wayne, and I'm like, what? And then flat. No, I'm sorry.
Well, I think part of what you have to assume about BV Soups is that they're building up to Justice League.
Whatever. It's
And that's the movie I want. I want to see this stupid Justice League.
But they're going about it in the worst way
I know.
possible. And Jesse Eisenberg as Luthor was horrible. I did
I
not
like that dude as an actor. That's just a bad choice.
That is
No.
not, because the thing that I always liked about Lex Luthor, between the Gene Hackman version, and like the guy is supposed to be somewhat likable and equally as brilliant.
And like menacing.
Yes, like, and have some sort of presence, and not
Yeah.
just this New York neurotic child.
Yeah. He can play neurotic great, but I don't see him as this large imposing authority.
No. No. It was like Mark Zuckerberg, evil Zuckerberg,
Yeah.
is what it seemed like.
That stinks. And I think the thing that's really a shame is I'm not saying that the Marvel movies are perfect, but you literally have the blueprint. Just do that with DC properties. It has worked.
Well, yeah, it has worked, but the thing that I think the thing that was, not just being a Marvel fanboy here, which I kind of am, but because that's the camp I grew up in, so of course that's the camp I'm loyal to.
Right.
But the like, just the overall tone of these movies, it's serious when it needs to be serious. It's light when it needs to be serious.
Right.
Like, this just felt like, and the damn thing was long.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's like way up its own ass with seriousness, apparently.
yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, look, it's, and don't get me wrong, like, if your comedy chops are coming from Batman, you have a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have a problem when, like, the best, tension cutting lines are coming from Batman.
From your dark, brooding anti-hero.
And man, he does a great job delivering them too.
I like Ben Affleck. I don't.
I do too.
I know people still poo-poo him, but I like his stuff.
I even went back and rewatched Daredevil, like, after I had marathoned season 2, which was really good.
Yeah.
A Daredevil Netflix. I rewatched it and I'm like, I don't hate this movie. It is such a product of its time, though.
Yeah. Like, immediately it was old.
Yeah, like this is a time capsule flick. Like, you want to know everything that was going on musically and theatrically is in this vertical slice of this movie.
Yeah, in the middle 2000s.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which makes me want to go back. So, all right, so they recasted the Tick as a British dude?
Yeah, what's up with that? I genuinely didn't think they'd pick Patrick Warburton again, though they were making a mistake. But Peter Serafinowicz, or whatever his name is? What? Like, picture that dude's face in that mask that's covering like this much. Come on.
It's not the same. Like,
Put John Cena in there. I would watch that.
Unless, yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, just I'm the Tick. Grab my spoon.
Put chewing gum on this roof. But no, Like the Tick Show was just so amazing in its own right. It had no reason to be as amazing as it was.
Well, both the cartoon and the live action ones were both legitimately good
Yes.
for different reasons, but the live action one is half of it is carried just by Patrick Warburton being who he is and having that voice and that perfect delivery of just how he delivers lines. God.
And them in that diner was always my favorite scenes when they were sitting there talking about Apocalypse Cow in that diner.
Yep.
Like, but I don't understand, like, why would they go that route unless they're trying to do more of the one thing that I have loved that KFC's doing is having a different Colonel Sanders. Like,
It drives me nuts because I like Norm Macdonald so much and he doesn't get enough. I think he's way funnier than he gets credit for, and he doesn't
yeah.
get enough work. And seeing him as the Colonel for just a few short weeks was pretty great until he wakes up in his Jim Gaffigan. I was just like, okay.
Yeah, but the Jim Gaffigan one is hilarious in its own right.
They're
Like,
all
he
so
got
different and
fired
so
in the-
bad.
Like, he got fired in the middle. He's like, wait a minute, I haven't been doing it this long.
It might be one of my favorite marketing campaigns in a long time. Especially, do you remember the one with Norm Macdonald where he was walking through his house and putting on the Colonel Sanders stuff, and he was getting the accent as he was putting it on?
It's genius.
It's so good. Oh man,
Oh,
KFC.
this is what advertisers need to do is they need to just have fun with this stuff.
Yeah,
Like everyone hates Pumpy Monkey Baby, and I think it's brilliant.
I still think it's funny.
It's like because you just sit there, Pumpy Monkey Baby, Puppy Monkey Baby,
It's the only spoken words in that commercial.
Puppy Monkey Baby, Puppy Monkey Baby, and they gave him like that really hitchy like movement too, which adds to it being creepy and more memorable.
Yeah, whenever I'm watching Catfish, I see that commercial a lot, and it's okay.
You're still watching Catfish?
I like Catfish a lot. I like Catfish a lot. It's so dumb.
I don't think I've watched the show since the early aughts when it first came out.
Yeah, it's still on. Still really good.
So what else do you have in your catalog? Real World?
I just saw the commercials that they were starting a new season.
I know. I just saw that today too because we're eating dinner and there's ridiculousness on TV, which I love clip shows. I don't care who's in them.
Yeah.
Like they're just the people doing dumb things.
Yep.
I can't believe some of the dumb stuff we've done hasn't been on that. Not
Yeah,
like,
thankfully we didn't record most of it in college.
if we had the means, we would have.
Well, oh, we absolutely would have. And we would have never been able to get a job again.
Yeah.
Oh, were you the guys from that one video? It's like, no, we're not. See you later, though.
You guys that streak that ended up in the freezers at Giant Eagle?
No, I don't.
That was someone else. No, but your
seem like us.
tattoos look familiar.
Yeah, where's your bathroom?
Yeah.
I had to go.
Thanks. It was wonderful to meet you. Wash your hands.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah, don't actually touch me. Dimebag says Tosh.0. No, that show's garbage.
No, it's not.
I hate that show.
I like Daniel Tosh. I'm sorry.
Ugh.
I think his delivery's great.
There's something about it that I don't like it at all.
I just think the same thing that I have with certain comedians when they find something really funny and they have a very genuine laugh. I
find that funny.
I think when he finds something funny and he can't contain himself is when that show shines.
Yep.
A lot like listening to clips of Patrice O'Neill on Opie and Anthony.
Straight out ban. Yeah,
he
when
calling
Patrice
us a
O'Neill starts laughing, you can't help but laugh.
That is still probably my favorite thing that they did when they were talking about rich exotic foods was yes, I would like my steak sprinkled with rhino eyelashes. or for appetizer, my sauteed cheetah heels.
The cheetah heels. I forgot about that.
Them just one-upping each other on this, and he's just losing his mind.
Oh God.
Oh, Chia heels. Like,
Holy crap! I forgot about that.
oh, I'll never forget that because that was just one of the, like, I literally had to pull over off the highway because I was laughing so hard.
Man.
Oh, holy crap.
All right. Well, are we ready
Here,
to talk about video games?
I am melted in these polyester pants. Oh, wait, hold on.
I
You didn't
think
see,
that's a soul coughing song, isn't it?
look, hold on. Look at these suckers, man.
Oh jeez.
And
Shabow.
they're,
Show me them gams.
these are awesome. Might peel these off during the episode, though.
Very secretly.
Just-
All right. You ready?
Yes, I got about 10 pounds of prime rib in me. I can't handle this anymore. At the meat sweats.
All right. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me, as always, Mr. Knobs.
What's up?
Let's just get right into it. Knobs, what have you been playing?
Alrighty. Well, we're back to Battlefield 4 on Monday night,
All
and
right.
it was awesome.
Hey, you know, when you got a good thing, you gotta stick with it.
We did kind of figure out a bit of a game changer for sniping.
Okay.
Instead of using now, the trick to sniping is being able to time your breath with your aiming.
Mm.
So usually you click in the right stick to hold your breath, and he does this little, and then it steadies you for like a little bit. Then it go all wonky. You can bind that to one of the paddle buttons now.
Oh no.
So now that just like instead of like clicking and holding the button you're aiming with, you're holding an actual button now,
Oh no.
which
Get your Elite controllers today.
I might get back into the sniper mode, but we played 2 rounds on Monday night. The first one we didn't do so well. The second one, yeah, we were a force.
Yeah.
Like we were like the only people like playing the game, like keeping everything up, getting our points and scoring, and scoring points and stuff. Like we're at the top of the leaderboard because we're all following orders and doing what we're supposed to be doing. While everyone's just this free for all.
You know,
Jets are
accomplishing the
crashing
actual
in all over the
objective.
place. And I think that's the thing where that game really shines the most is these dumb unscripted moments.
Oh
Like
yeah.
you're running from island to island, and then all of a sudden a jet crashes in front of you. You're like, huh.
Huh,
So
it's a bad day for someone.
that happened.
Yeah.
And we get in our little vendettas with random people. So it's, man, that game's still a great shooter. And I've been kind of gaming it a little bit for the fact now. I don't know why it took me so long to think of this. Is haming down iron sights. So I have like a 3.4 like assault scope on my DRM rifle because I really don't need to hit anything far away, like within me and maybe 100 meters. Like it's usually like my ring of attack. So, and a lot of time I end up close quarters with a gun that is a semi-automatic. I got to pull the trigger every bullet because that's the only way I'll be able to keep myself focused on a target. So instead of keeping it straight at 0 sights, like I click up my scope down one to aim at 200 meters. So now if I'm aiming at center mass, means I just brought that bullet up
Oh,
Right.
nice.
right to the grill. If I'm aiming now, I'm aiming for chest and just scoring headshots.
Wow.
I cannot believe it took me that long to think to do that.
Hidden depth in Battlefield 4.
It's fun. Like the game is still really fun. Still looking for something that we can,
Before
Really-
Battlefield
really-
5 comes out.
really collate around.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then we've had a lot of talks about doing RBI baseball. 16
Oh, yeah.
is out. We get a baseball league going because sports games kind of are fun at times.
Especially
And
when you have a league.
Yes, and I haven't played a baseball game since MLB 2K1
Yeah.
with Pedro on the cover.
Something on the Dreamcast.
Like yeah,
Yeah.
like that is like almost 2 generations removed since I have played a
Yeah.
legit sports game.
Well, I think the fun thing too about playing a league in games like that is even if you suck, you're playing with friends.
Yes.
So you're not really losing.
Yeah, and that's kind of the whole point of us trying to get that together. And the headphones back on here, just
Oh, hey.
hair felt a little. Hello, felt a little wild on me. So I'm slowly working my way through Borderlands 2 on my Krieg playthrough, and playing a melee character fighting stuff in the sky kind of sucks.
Yeah.
It really sucks at times.
Swinging at racks when they're coming close to you.
Well, it kind of takes, you really got to pick your moments to use your action skill. Usually I do it when I first get into a room and take out as many as I can. And I'd upgrade my action skill to when I am fighting for my life, I just pull out a stick of dynamite and I'm throwing sticks of dynamite at people,
Oh, I remember that one. Yeah.
trying to get try to get my second win. Or when your time goes out, you still blow up. So if anything's close to you, you still have an opportunity to get a second win,
Oh, nice.
which is really cool. And then I got my pull the pin skill point and pull the pin. So when I die, I drop a grenade, and if anything gets killed by the grenade, I get like triple XP on that guy.
Jeez.
So he's interesting, but again,
It's
like I still find myself wishing he was more interactive with the world,
yeah.
like they handled in pre-sequel.
At least for that character, and same thing with Gage. At least they took they took the game and they tried to make that character something so different from all the other characters. You know, it's not
Right.
like, oh, you have these guns and your special ability is just different than everybody else's.
Yeah, and I always thought the whole death trap thing was really neat.
Mm-hmm.
Like just how she cobbled together this monstrosity of a machine.
It's fun to use, yeah.
Yeah. So I've been like slowly burning my way through that. I just got through the wildlife preserve, so sadly I killed Bloodwing.
Yeah, there's not much to do about that.
Yeah, yeah, we can't because the last elemental that he can't remember is explosions.
Yeah.
Man,
Man, that's a good moment. It's terrible, but it's
it
good.
is. It's good because you do everything you can just to hold on. I'll trank him. Oh wait, explosions in his
Flat.
head. Blah.
Yeah.
So I'm still forgetting like how many times Jack is eating while he's talking to you.
Yeah. Just casually in his office,
Yeah.
just chomping on lunch, making fun of you.
Yeah, it's all really great. Still, man, he's just a character you just love to hate.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, on the inverse side of that, we decided to do some power leveling at it's not at Tycho's Ribs, but there was some at one of the other one of the slag dump sites in on the moon, where there's an endless spawn where you can just sit there and just destroy guardians. And so I hopped in and was a jerk and didn't play. I just was sitting there, hopped in, just leveling up my guys, leveling up my guys, leveling up my guys. What is that?
Never mind. I'll tell you when you're older.
Oh, okay. So I went
For
through
anyone
that.
listening to the audio version, that's just some chat, some Twitch chat being Twitch chat.
Yeah, it's pretty early to have two of those up there already.
Yeah, it's been a good day.
We must be trending.
Oh, hello.
Hi. But yeah, so playing some more pre-sequel, then Ian and I were grinding out one of these special rocket launchers to try and grind out a specific weapon. So this is going to be a miserable failure. I'm just cannot wait for this to happen. So we finally got the drop we were looking for, and another drop that I was looking for because I wanted a level 70 Four Seasons grenade because I love those things. But still playing. Like I got my playthrough I'm going through with Scott. I just started the new one with Donnie last night, except the all the jumping around stuff. He gets motion sickness, and
Oh,
it's
no.
Like you just hear him burping, just like the whole time. Like Donnie, do we need to stop? He's like, yeah, we should probably stop.
Just yeah.
I
Yeah,
can't.
that's if you have motion sickness, that is really not just a free gravity spinning around,
Oh,
throwing
yeah.
you into the air game.
Yeah, it's just like, dude, just focus on the middle of the screen. Just don't worry about anything else.
Yeah, just look at the reticle. You're
I'll
fine.
kill everything.
Do what dancers do.
Yeah. Find your focus point.
Yeah.
Your
Just follow
dancers
the
die.
point.
But yeah, so I'm still tooling around in that, just waiting to get the group together, Ian and Splaz, so we can roll a couple of the raid monsters in Ultimate Vault Hunter mode and just you know get ourselves loaded out with 100% legendaries. Pretty much all we're really shooting for.
Yeah. You're Diabloing pre-sequel at this point.
It is my Diablo.
Yeah.
So that's my comfort food game.
Yeah.
Pre-sequel because it's good and it still really makes me laugh.
It
'Cause
tastes good and it's filling.
nothing's better than a high five in a turbo mansion.
Right.
Like that's just one of my favorite lines. Um, so in the midst of getting myself authorized to update my own account through Microsoft,
See last week's video.
see last week's episode.
Yeah.
So I finally got that all straightened out, and I was able to procure my copy of Borderlands Vanilla.
Oh no.
So, oh no is right.
The OG Blands.
I really hope if I can transfer my character over, I will do that and just plow through that game again. Just go full on tank mode.
Yeah, at that point you can probably get through with the soldier pretty fast in that game.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure
Super
my
overpowered.
pretty sure my rollie is 100 as max leveled in that right now. So
It's like Christmas.
yes, the only thing he says in that game. And in the midst of screwing around in the marketplace, I was checking my downloadable games or my backwards compatible list. I was like, oh wow, Sonic 2's there.
Oh yeah.
So I downloaded Sonic 2 and Symphony of the Night. I didn't play Symphony of the Night yet, but I did play Emerald Coast on that, and I could not finish it.
Yeah.
There is something about an emulated game being emulated on another console that
Just like 2 degrees of separation.
it's jaggy. Like it doesn't.
Oh.
It's not fluid.
See, Symphony of Night, I played that a little bit. I feel like that works pretty well, mostly because you can. It seems like the emulation was done right, and you can resize the screen, so you can kind of set it up to however it looks best for you. It works pretty nicely.
Yeah, this one it was hitchy.
Is something off about it the whole time? Bless you. No
Oh.
blast. The Xbox One doesn't have a blast processor. That's what we forgot. Ah.
Oh no, that's gonna come out in the next iteration of it.
Yeah, well,
It's
a
gonna be my
blast
Xbox
processing
One
is in
Plus.
the cloud.
But it just doesn't like even open it up. Like it just was like it was. I was like, oh, maybe it'll smooth itself out, and it didn't. And I died in some place I didn't even think was possible. I dove like it was when you're up in the air like you do like the little and just the shoot mechanic. So I shot up in the ramp and I'm flying, and then it goes through a bridge into a bottomless pit and just went boom. I'm like, I'm done.
I'm good. Thanks, Sonic.
Thanks. That
Nice
was
to see you again.
great. I got a dozen rings and I'm out.
Yeah.
So that was this week.
I've been playing a lot more Soda Dungeon. Like a lot more. I have to give what's that?
What's up with them pops?
Yeah, those pops are good. I gotta give a lot of credit to Binary Viking in the community. He and I have been putting our brains together in Discord chat. He figured out. He's way further than I am, but he figured out the secret behind one of the classes in the game. So that kind of broke us through a wall at some point. So Soda Dungeon is really good. I'm not going to belabor the point. It's really good. It's free. Go try it. I have way too many hours in it at this point. It's yeah. Tales of Zestiria. I'm about 45 hours through that now. I'm
Okay.
at the end. It claims, but it does the thing that some JRPGs do, where it's like we're gonna have a big cutscene and everyone's gonna get around. And you're like, yeah, let's go defeat the. This is the last battle, yeah. And you have like 3 more areas before you do that. It's like you can do that outside of the final dungeon, or like maybe at the last save before you're gonna fight the last boss, but don't be like, yeah, let's go do this, and you're like in the middle of a town where people live. Like that's not how that goes.
Hmm.
Um, so I'm enjoying that more now that the story is kind of has unfolded a little bit. I didn't realize that they were laying the framework for a bunch of stuff at the first half of the game, and a whole bunch of stuff unfolded all of a sudden, and it turned out to be pretty good. And I fought a dragon, which was awesome.
When is it fighting a dragon? Awesome.
Not never. Um,
Not never, not ever.
Not ever. Um, yeah, so I'm excited to finish that and see if I'm a little worried about now that you know who the bad guy is. I'm a little worried about how they're gonna resolve that storyline. I hope they do right by it, because if not, that's gonna be a real big bummer. So we'll see. I think I'm only maybe a handful of hours away from finishing that. So tune in next week. Um, my wife and I finished Oxenfree this week. That game was awesome. If you like point and click adventure games, pick up Oxenfree. It's really good. It is really creepy, and they managed to wrap up a storyline that could have gone. The ending could have been really goofy with how the story progressed, but how they actually resolved all of it was not only creepy, but really, really well done, and put a nice bow on all of these individual stories that were playing out through, honestly, only about 4 hours in this game. Um, I'm really pleased with how it ended. I it's it's really good. I think I don't I think it's maybe a step down, not in quality, but from how much I love it from things like Life is Strange and Tales from Borderlands. But if you enjoy those types of games, Oxenfree is not only really good, but tries to tell a spooky horror story with the same type of tools. I think it does it really well, and I think it's really interesting. There's one more playthrough I want to do where your character doesn't respond to any questions that's asked of her, and I think that sounds really entertaining. So I'm probably going to do that at some point. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I think my wife enjoyed it too, so go check that out. But last and certainly not least, my wife and I started Life is Strange.
Ooh.
So we are up until the point in episode 1 where the fire alarm goes off, and you wander around the opening part of the campus. Then you have to go to the dorms. So we're probably, I don't know, what is that, like an hour in?
Yeah.
Um, I, I I'm enjoying playing through it again, just to see where the seeds are being planted at the beginning. And I think so far my wife is enjoying it. And we'll probably be doing some spoiler cast around it. I'm almost sure. But the I think the only thing that I think she's interested in the story, and the only disclaimer I gave her at the beginning was the dialogue gets better after episode 1. Because I know for some people, not me, I didn't really care, but I know that some people are driven crazy by the dialogue, especially as intense as it is in the first episode. Like the first time you run into Chloe, she says hella 2 or 3 times. Like it's
It's a bit
concentrated.
much.
Yeah. Um, so I think that helped her a little bit, where it's like, if you don't like the dialogue, just kind of roll your eyes and let's just get through the first episode. It gets better after that.
Mhm.
I think the only thing that I wish that we would have played it together originally, because I think there's some hesitation on her side from, am I making the right decision? And it's, I don't want to spoil anything for her, but like, on one hand, not every decision you make in Life is Strange really matters. Like at the beginning, do you want that guy to sketch you, or do you not want him to? That, I don't think that really matters
No.
at the end of the day. But it says this action has consequences and shows the little butterfly. But then, at the very beginning, when you're talking to the principal, do you point the finger at that guy who had a gun, or do you just say nothing happened and kind of take a little bit of the blame? So I think there's a little bit of hesitation there, and I think the great thing about Life is Strange that I don't think we've utilized all that well yet on this playthrough is, if you don't feel like your decision was great, you just rewind.
Right.
And they actually patched in something recently. First off, they patched in better lip syncing. It's pretty close now, which is great. That never bothered me, but if it bothered anybody, that's fixed now. And also they patched in, before you would have to hold, on the PS4, you'd hold in L2 to rewind time. Now you just tap L1, and it rewinds all the way to your last decision. So you actually don't have to hold down L2 and then hold down R2 to make it go fast. Just hit L1 and it just and rewinds all the way. So that's actually pretty nice. It's nice to see them making all these little sort of quality of life improvements to the game. But yeah, I'm excited to keep playing through it. Hopefully we'll find more time to do it today. But I'm excited not only to go through the game again, because I really loved it the first time, but I really want to see which decisions she makes throughout her Life is Strange story.
Yeah. It's like, there's no good or bad decisions. You just make your decisions.
It's just your story.
That's right.
Yeah.
Are you happy with that choice? Then you live with it.
Yeah. And I think that's what I've been...
But if it was me, I wouldn't have done it.
But if it was me, I mean, I don't know if I'd be doing that. Yeah, I don't know. And there are a lot of things that I'm doing differently to get some backstory in this playthrough, where when I started it the first time, I didn't go up to everybody and look at them and talk to them. So when you're out in the courtyard there at the very beginning, I didn't realize you could go up to Brooke and talk to her, and she would just blow you off. Then you can look in her backpack at the drone, rewind time, and talk to her about the drone and be able to fly the drone. So like, there's all this little extra stuff that I'm picking up because I know how to play Life is Strange, so I can kind of squeeze the most out of it at this point. So that's kind of interesting. So hopefully I'll be seeing more of the game itself as we're playing through. So
A few Easter eggs here and there.
yeah, and just like little stuff that I never saw before, because I didn't really spend. I didn't think until maybe episode 2. Oh, I really should be looking at and talking to and inspecting everything in the environment, because there's all this stuff. There's all this extra surrounding stuff that I would probably enjoy. Dimebag315 in chat says, "Is Wolf Among Us good? It'll be free on Games for Gold." I've heard it's really good. I heard it's one of Telltale's better ones. I played episode 1. I think you did too.
I did not. I downloaded it.
No, that was the Hannah.
Yeah.
Both Hannah and I really enjoyed the first episode, but I have it on PS4. I just never went through the whole series again. So maybe after Life is Strange, my wife and I'll sit down and play that next. There are so many great like new point and click adventure games for us to go through that it's kind of a good problem to have. But that's all I've been playing this week, so let's take a break.
Cool. I could pee.
There.
I think I'm gonna costume change here in a second because it is just warm. Come on.
How's everyone in chat doing? Hopefully everyone's having a good day. Nice to see a couple people in chat here today. Always like that. People hanging out with us, people chatting. Me maybe playing Soda Dungeon here. If anybody hasn't picked up and started playing Soda Dungeon, it's really great. It's free. Currently sitting at level 500. Fighting a boss. It's backwards, but... Do I have show notes open? Maybe I should do that first. Pop Dungeon? Yes. Thank you very much. I have to defend my Midwestern pride here and insist that it is Pop Dungeon. Oh, man. What about Salt and Sanctuary, Boston? Any interest? I don't know. I mean, a 2D Dark Souls-like sounds pretty good, but I haven't really enjoyed too much of Ska Studios' output in the past. I feel like that's a little bit unfair, and I kind of feel badly saying it. Just like, I don't enjoy this studio's work. But even watching the Giant Bomb Quick Look, like, it looks fine. I think there's just something about their animation that has always kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. It looks really good, and it looks like it's a really good. I don't want to call it a Dark Souls clone, because they're not really going for that. They're just kind of making a 2D Souls game. It looks pretty good, but I don't know if I. Plus, I have so many other games I need to finish right now. My pile has gotten larger and larger, and Tales of Zestiria is way longer than I was expecting it was going to be, especially since it's only the first of my 2 playthroughs.
All right,
Hi.
Sweatpants and a yoga hoodie.
Can't beat it.
I feel so much better.
From earlier, I went and found my unopened black box set of Evangelion. Whew! That was a good night. Watch some robots punching angels. Mostly I was thinking about that episode. Remember when Shinji and Asuka do that whole...
the dance thing?
The training? Yeah, and they do the dance and they fight the angel at the same time. That's a great episode.
Yeah.
I like that show.
The show had some moments.
I like so much of that show. Mostly because I like things that are weird and kind of a little, like, existential.
No kidding.
A little bit. That's probably why I liked Oxenfree.
We all do.
God, that show is so good.
I don't know. Boxes black. That's crazy. An unopened box Ava.
I wonder if that's worth anything.
I don't know. I thought that one had a pretty good print run.
Mm-hmm.
The platinum had a very, very limited platinum, or that platinum one. The one you got, the big boxes, because I got the one with the little boxes. I think that one was produced more than the one you got.
Well, and there was a printing problem with the one that I got where there was like an audio issue on the first disc or something. So you had to send the disc back to Funimation to get a corrected one.
Did you do that?
I think so. But it's weird because they had you send just the disc back, not the case or anything, and then they sent you just another disc back. It's very odd.
I wish it came back and it had one of those stick-on labels.
Property of Blockbuster.
That's funny. Oh, dude, I just eat too much food.
I had that problem the other night. What did we even make? We make tacos? We made like these turkey tacos. I just ate way too much. I couldn't stop myself.
Like I just, whatchamacallit, like I just noticed, like I just like literally like maybe like an hour ago just ate asparagus and my pee already stinks.
Hmm. Yeah, that stuff moves pretty quick through me. But it's
Yes,
so good, I'm not gonna stop.
Yeah. Yes, and that is a picture work Rick and Morty.
Yeah. Oh man.
Hold
I
on.
am ready to start whenever you are.
I am too almost. I just gotta get. Gotta get my stimulants in me because I can't stay awake. I want to have a little coffee too.
It's damn good coffee, Diane.
It is. It's gotta be confusing to watch because I use an old coffee cup
Oh yeah.
and then I go and drink out of this one.
I thought you were just talking about Twin Peaks, and I was like, well, yeah.
Well, yeah, that show is confusing.
The show's very good. It's very good, but it's very confusing.
Actually, I kind of want to watch something weird tonight.
Twin
Think
Peaks?
I might go. No, I'm thinking weirder, like
Oh.
Podorsky weird.
Oh.
I think I might try and watch El Topo again. See if my feelings have changed about it.
I haven't watched anything in a while. I haven't watched any movies in a while.
So I exposed Ian to whatchamacallit. No, mint isn't the best. Spearmint is the best.
Ah, there's a subtle difference.
No, there's a significant difference actually because they sell so much mint. It's always really wet. The spearmint is a little drier, so it packs better and stays put in your mouth and not floating around.
Yeah.
Not that I need to give pro tips on how to chew, but
But, you know, if you're already a seasoned chewer, a chewist.
yeah, no, I do like spearmint, and the flavor's really nice, and that's pretty much the main reason why I chew anymore. Anyway, it's just
Get that fresh
because
taste.
I don't really take big. I mean, this is a little. I mean,
Just a
no
little
bigger
pouch.
than this. No bigger than the size of like a marble.
Yeah.
Never really been one of the guys that's got the huge lipper in, and you're like
Your lips hanging out. Yeah.
I got out of that phase in high school, so.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're saying you introduced Ian to something?
yes, Duel to the Death.
Movie's so good. I should watch that.
Yes, because we were
God, that last shot.
we were
Oh.
talking. Oh yeah,
man.
one stared off in distance, the other one's like looking over his shoulder, over his armless shoulder.
Oh, God, that movie's so good. I bought that on DVD, too. I think it was like $3.
Mine was 70. What did?
Suncoast, man.
Yeah, but it was like the only place that thing existed at that time.
Yep.
Because we were talking about like gems in like our media collection. I'm like, dude, for me, it's Duel to Death, bar none.
Yep.
Because I
Hidden
saw
gem.
that bits and pieces of that movie in my early teens.
Yeah.
And I had always been trying to find a copy of this movie. Couldn't find it on VHS anywhere. That's how long ago I've been looking for
Well, it
this
was one
movie.
of those where like TBS or Spike, like Saturday mornings, would just show Asian or Hong
Kong
Kong
action.
for movies for like 3 hours.
Yeah, and this was like one of the ones that was there, and I think I saw it originally on Cinemax.
Yep. And you had
when I
no
was-
DVD, like you had no menu for your cable box.
No.
So it wasn't like, oh, what's this movie? If you didn't catch the intro, Had no idea.
Yeah, so and I had seen like I've seen this before. What is this?
Yeah.
And I was going through and I was like, all right, what's the one where they're flying around at the end of the movie with this like early days?
Ninjas on kites. What movie is
Yeah,
that?
yeah, what kite ninjas? Where are the kite ninjas? So we're talking. It's like and Ian's watching it on YouTube. I'm like, no, dude, just come
Hold the
over
phone.
and watch it right.
Yeah.
So he came over, watched it. Donnie was completely confused in what we were watching, but it doesn't matter.
That's standard.
Especially the guy with the stick legs. Like,
Oh god, that's right. Just roll with it, Donnie.
that just, dude, come on. We sit there and watch people get blown up with Band of Brothers. I mean, you have a problem with this?
Yeah, this is less weird.
And he missed the scene with the giant naked chick ninja
Ah, bummer.
with the little fish, the fish nets.
The movie's so weird and so good.
It is like I think it is the pinnacle of that genre of movie.
Yeah.
Like there are elements of that movie in everything you have ever seen.
Yeah.
And the dialogue is so great. And the characters, like that's the thing I love most about this movie is the two people that are fighting at the end are the two most likable people in the movie as itself.
They're like your two heroes.
Right. It is like Batman versus Superman. Like it's
Full circle. Boom.
brought it back because it is two people that people love that are fighting each other for no good reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
Other than check my Chinese kung fu.
That reminds me, I made a Kung Pao joke at work the other day. And I was
Oh,
like,
did it land flat?
the room couldn't have been more dead. Someone said like, oh, maybe that guy, we were talking about like a super old employee, and they're like, oh, maybe that guy wasn't really that great. And I was like, yeah, we trained him as a joke. We trained him wrong as a joke. And everyone was like, what? I was just like, God damn it. Product placement for Taco Bell? Anybody? Now my shirt
That's
is
a lot
red.
of nuts!
Now my shirt is green. That movie is simultaneously the worst movie you've ever seen and one of the best, especially if you love that genre.
I don't think I have ever watched a movie more than I've watched Kung Pao just to see what's different in every audio track.
Yeah.
With the scene where he's talking to the lion head in the sky, and you just hear like the little air blower. You can hear it running as he's saying, "Wow, the kumquats are delicious this year."
Megan chat says the way the girl cries. Oh, I forgot about that. Mr. Squeaky Shoes, where you just hear him in the background, squeak, 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 squeak.
Oh man.
People dismiss that movie so much, but just swinging my chain around. I should watch that movie again.
You know what's funny? Like another movie that is way better than I remember it being was Kung Fu Hustle.
That movie's so good.
Kung Fu Hustle is awesome.
I was trying to explain to my wife the other day. It's like if someone took an action, like a kung fu action movie, and they put a little bit of Looney Tunes in there, but like the best parts.
Yes,
it's so good.
Like probably one of my probably one of the best scenes from that is when he's fighting those two dudes that are playing that sitar thing.
Oh God, yeah.
Was just one of
like
the most
sound
beautiful
waves.
Scenes, like the sound.
Yeah.
Like spawning those warriors and stuff.
Man, that movie's so good. I feel like that movie got missed, and I don't know why. Maybe because people didn't like Shaolin Soccer, which wasn't as good.
No, Shaolin Soccer wasn't nearly as good, but it was fun.
Sure,
it wasn't as much fun as this guy,
Mm-mm.
as this one was.
Man.
Because I picked that one up on when Best Buy had their pop art Blu-ray steelbooks. Is when I picked up. I was like, wow, Kung Pao. I totally forgot about that one.
Yeah.
And it came in this bright pink case with on the backside had like a broken Lollapalooza on it.
Great. That's awesome.
Oh, that is so great.
That's all you need for that set.
Alrighty. Before we get even more distracted.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently this week has been MovieCast. If there's any one video I can recommend to anyone watching, it'd probably be this. Catch it on YouTube soon.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
That was most of our college. It's like, hey, we're here, and there's a $3 movie that seems okay. It's like in the '80s and the early '90s when we're going to Toys R Us and buying a game. It's like, this cover looks really great. Let's pick it up. And it was us being like, here's the bargain bin. This thing looks stupid. Let's pick it up.
like how else are you going to stumble across Mountaintop Motel Massacre or Sleepaway Camp? Like,
Which apparently Sleepaway Camp is suddenly like a cult classic.
Sleepaway Camp's awesome.
It
like,
is
I don't
really good. But I feel
like-
like 7 years after you made me watch it, everyone's like, Sleepaway Camp's always been great. And I was like,
It's like, dude,
no.
wait, get on the boat, man. Like, we've been here.
Literally get in the boat.
We've always been here, sir.
We've always. You've always been at Suncoast.
But you've always been here, Jack.
Watch a lot of movies that the Wu-Tang Clan also likes.
Oh man, I was like before that was a thing. Like I had seen all those movies. Like what are they doing? Why is Wu-Tang involved in this now?
Yeah. Oh, they like the same movies I do. Cool.
Cool. I like Wu-Tang, so
Yeah.
this all works. There's nothing wrong with this situation. All right. Oh, that boy is so creepy. Oh, you know what's even all right? So, all right. One last thing about Sleepaway Camp.
Mm-hmm.
Sleepaway Camp proper is probably one of the best in that genre, old school slasher movies.
Yeah. Like a pure old school slasher.
The sequels that come after it are B movie gold.
Just the B-est of the B movies.
Because number one, it's Bruce Springsteen's sister.
Great. Nothing can go wrong there.
Lead in those, and she is a horrible actress in the best way.
These are only getting better.
Like I liken her to Hilary Swank's performance in The Core. That everyone else around knows what's going on, except she isn't in on the joke.
Right.
And it's a bad movie.
This is a serious movie, guys, and everyone's behind her like, no, man.
What? What? No,
This
I
is
was
the
like,
core.
come on.
What are you doing?
Look at the faces Stanley Tucci's making. What are you doing?
What are you... Just follow Stanley Tucci's lead, dude.
That one and what was another great one in that realm that everyone missed? I don't know. I completely lost it. And then they did a fourth sequel in that series where they actually brought Angela back from
jeez.
they brought the original cast back.
Oof.
And it was bad.
Jeez.
You do have to watch the sequels because they are outstanding. Wet Hot American Summer is a gem.
That's on my short list of things I need to watch very soon. I've never seen it, and I need to.
You need to watch that, and then watch the series they did.
Oh, the Netflix one? I heard it's really good.
Some of them age so poorly.
I feel like that's part of the joke, too.
Oh, in the best ways. And they're
Yeah.
all like the same, like playing the same age characters.
Like 30 years later. And I really like Paul Rudd, so...
Oh,
Can't
Paul
go
Rudd
wrong.
is so great. Oh, let me wipe down the screen here. His pouty trot is just so perfect. All right, focus.
Focus. Bring it down.
Focus.
Acting.
Ah! I was surprised we would get that joke. Oh, John, we miss you. Oh, all right. Last distraction.
Okay.
So I've been making this joke like all week, and that Gary Shandling from Iron Man 2 and as that senator looks exactly like John Kasich. So just
Amazing.
that,
Yeah, just,
like those looks and stuff.
God, he was so good in that role.
Looks exactly like John Kasich. So I've been posting this, like I did it to Mackie from the Bamcast and a few other people I know, and I was about ready to make a meme, and the next day Gary Shandling died. I'm like, what did I do?
Knobs, your black touch must be stopped.
It was so perfect, and I'm like, this is so meme worthy. What is
I
that?
can't now.
Because it is literally too soon.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna do the whole Hail Hydra thing for Kasich. I was gonna do it. Just,
You know, knowing Gary Shandling, maybe he would appreciate it, though.
he probably would have. But it's just like, because I wish he was alive. Like, I think he would have enjoyed being a part of that. But
Yeah. Oh, man.
not that it would ever gotten back to him because, hey now,
Yeah.
Gary Shandling.
A man can dream.
I don't know. It was really funny. And then I saw like a Facebook the next day. I'm like, oh my God, I just killed Gary Shandling.
My God, why? What have I done?
I have fun.
Take this
for, like,
power
15
from me.
minutes. Damn these hands.
These hands.
They look like big, strong hands. All right.
Anywho.
Ready in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. We got releases this week for March 28th, 2016.
Go watch the video.
A butt ton of Oculus Rift games.
30 games coming out like this week. I'm assuming because I'm not gonna assume the first shipment of Oculus Rifts are gonna be coming out. Actually, we were talking last week during emails about I was hoping that there were some games that weren't first-person shooters or first-person puzzle games. There's that game that's shipping with the Oculus Rift called Lucky's Tale, which is a third-person action platformer.
Oh, yeah.
So I can't believe I forgot about that. That game looked really good. I would play that if I had VR and wouldn't get motion sickness.
Oh, well, we'll find out. Did you see the VR stuff they were doing with the roller coasters?
No.
So apparently these guys had strapped on the VR headsets, and something was like through some virtual like track or something as they're on a roller coaster. Could you imagine that sensation?
Oh, God.
As going through buildings and all this other stuff, and it was like a TIE fighter sequence.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
That they're rolling around like through like flipping around and all this other stuff like that. I think that'd be awesome.
That'd be
but then
cool.
again,
It was like synced up to the track of the roller coaster.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
I would have imagined that'd be sensory overload because not like a roller coaster can be intense enough as it is,
right?
But to have like you visually removed from where you're going,
right? Man,
but it was kind of cool because they had like a virtual track on it, so you would actually see the track you were on. But that just seemed really neat.
Yeah, that's a little neat and a little frightening.
It did. It's got to be better than the Duke Nukem VR they had in the 80s. Or not the 80s, the mid-90s.
That's true. It'd be hard not to beat that.
We're on your action pad you had to walk on.
Yeah. Oh, God.
All right. Killer Instinct Season 3 for the Xbox One.
A lot more characters. I know they have another season pass for a lot of stuff. That is a game that is surprisingly turning out to be way better than I would have ever guessed.
Yeah, and way more popular than I ever would have guessed.
Yeah, people love that game.
Yeah, they do. I am horrible at it.
I still haven't tried it, but I will probably be garbage at it.
It has its things like I just couldn't quite wrap my mind around that system.
Oh yeah,
because they kind of virtual fighter to me on that one a little bit. It's really deep but really simple.
Oh yeah, man, Virtual Fighter. Come on with another one of those. I'll play that. Get all my costumes on.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind a DOA again.
It's true.
Hey, we got to make that happen sooner or later.
Yes. Soon.
Yep.
Studio.
I went to the same place. MLB 16, the show for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3.
Talk about another game that people love the show. It
Yep.
seems like it's a great baseball game.
Yeah, and we were talking about is, RBI baseball is still alive and kicking, so I think that comes out early April, right?
Something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty soon.
All right, and Unapic for the PlayStation 4.
That seems interesting. It's kind of a like a randomly generated 2D dungeon crawler. So that could be interesting.
All right. And Hyper Light Drifter for the for the personal computer.
Yeah, that's finally coming out. Seems like it's this kind of 80s neon tinged actiony Zelda game.
Yeah.
I kickstarted it a while ago, and I'm very excited to have this come out.
All right, and XCOM Enemy Unknown for PlayStation Plus. I'm sure that'll make the Viking happy.
Yeah, the Hannah came out and said, "I think I made this happen through sheer force of will alone." It was funny because
We wished on a lot of stars.
yeah, one day it was just out, randomly in the middle of last week.
Yep.
It contains Enemy Unknown, Enemy Within, and a bunch of the DLC, and apparently runs okay. So, go get that on Vita. It's pretty cheap too, I think. It was under $30, so it's a pretty good deal for all that stuff, and on your Vita.
Hey, there's something that thing's good for.
Yeah.
Other than Luminous.
Yes. All right, let's move on to news stories. New Xbox One firmware, just in time, allows you to buy Xbox 360 backwards compatible games on your Xbox One dashboard.
Of course it does.
Now that Knob's already downloaded.
Now that I went through all that hassle.
Yep. So
Had to recover my AOL account to get my passcode.
But now, if you've never played Symphony of the Night, the one that came out on Xbox 360 is pretty okay.
That is a decent version.
It unfortunately cuts out those really bad CG cutscenes, but, they had a space constraint to deal with. So
Yes.
And speaking of Xbox Live, April's Games with Gold for Xbox One and 360 is amazing. So Xbox One all month, A Wolf Among Us, the full first season is free. Go grab that.
Yep.
The price is right.
Yep.
April 16th to May 15th is Sunset Overdrive. Just get it.
Yes. Just you will not be disappointed in downloading that game. That game
so
is
good.
a lot of fun.
Yeah. For 360, the first half of the month is Dead Space, which is an amazing game. If you haven't played it, just go play it. Don't look at anything. If you haven't been spoiled, just go play it.
I'm kind of excited to play through that one again.
Yeah.
I'm like reliving my 2000 and whatever, 2008
Why not?
all over
It's a
again.
pretty good year.
Well, we're doing that, and then now I just bought the ultimate version of Gears, so why not get another thing right in line with Borderlands, Gears of War, and
the first half of the 360's lifespan all over again.
Here we go. Got the Trinity back.
Yeah. And the second half of the month is Saints Row 4, which is a really good game. If you didn't have to play any of the previous ones, don't even worry about it.
No, all you need to do is get the dubstep gun and have fun.
Yep. Set it to polka. Go nuts. Or metal.
Pop Star. That's where it's
Popstar's
at.
good too. Man, that game is great. Dimebag315 says, Boston, how can I download it if I don't have a 360? If you have an Xbox One, go into the Xbox Live store, and with the newest firmware, you should have a section to start downloading.
Yep.
And the emulator will just take care of the rest. The cloud will take care of the rest. Yay.
Unless it gets deep sixed.
That's true. Deep sea DDoSed. Moving over to the Sony side, Sony's opening a new division called ForwardWorks in Tokyo to turn some of its existing PlayStation properties into, quote, full-fledged game titles, end quote, for mobile devices.
Great.
That
So we can play Crash on our phones now?
would be okay. I like Crash Bandicoot.
I do.
I liked Crash Bandicoot. I haven't played one of the games since 3, maybe? That was on PlayStation 1, so...
With the one with the dragon in it? No, the tiger. Were you riding the tiger?
What? Which one was that? Did
You
I play
remember,
that
you
one?
don't remember that one?
I don't know. I played a lot of each one of those. I think I 100%ed those first 3 games, so I played a lot of those. I don't know. I don't know. That sounds interesting. I wonder if that's sort of influenced by what Nintendo's doing right now with Pokemon Go, and a lot of their mobile stuff, where apparently they are just raking in cash.
Money's good.
Yeah. Sorry, I have to write down a show title here. Care of the Rest. My handwriting's terrible. All right, let's move on to the next story. We talked last week about the PlayStation 4.5, and that was Kotaku coming out and saying, like, hey, we saw a bunch of stuff about this. It's happening. But rumors. Now Eurogamer has gotten behind that, and also lent a little bit more credence to this. And the thing that's really interesting is it seems like it's primarily focused around running games and Blu-rays at 4K. So it seems like the internal name for this is the PlayStation 4K. The only reason why I wanted to bring this up is because I wonder how quickly the idea that I had in my mind was this like boardroom meeting at Sony where it's like, you know what? Microsoft keeps coming with us. We came out with the PS3, they came out with the 360. Came out with the 4, they came out with the 1. We're going to come with the PlayStation 4000. What are you going to do now? Huh? You come with the Xbox 5000? That'll be stupid. What are you going to do?
I hope that's what happens, to be honest with you.
Oh, the PlayStation 4K comes out? Cool. We got an Xbox 5001.
The Xbox 501. 501.
It's just PlayStation, the Xbox 501 it's just colored like jeans.
It comes with the denim veneer.
Yeah. Comes with the little rivets in it.
It comes with a free lint roller.
That'd be pretty good. And our last news story here is something actually pretty interesting. Valve has been pushing their Steam boxes and the Steam Link and the controller and everything. They actually just released the CAD files for the Steam controller. It basically gives you all the layers of the controller except for the actual internal electronics. And basically what they're saying is take this and take a 3D printer and print whatever you want. You want to make you want to make it thicker? Great. You want to make it smaller? Whatever. They actually released another CAD file alongside of it so you can print a new controller that you can tuck the wireless dongle into the back of it.
That's genius.
Yeah. So Valve. A lot of people get frustrated with Valve. I think us as well, where it's like, come out with Half-Life 3, come out with games in general. But then on the other hand, on the other side of the coin, they keep coming out with this cool hardware stuff where it's like, look, we don't care what you do with it. Like you have this controller, take it apart, take the guts out, put it in this hot pink monstrosity that's in two parts. Like, what do we care? I think
that's really cool for customization.
Mm-hmm. Well, especially for the possibility of somebody who, the thing that what is his name? Ben Heck. He makes all those, like, he'll take a 360 and he'll make a handheld out of it. But he also does a lot of stuff where he makes he changes controllers to make them more accessible for people that may have some sort of disability. That could be potentially really interesting for these controllers too, where you have a 3D printer, you have access to a 3D printer, you can just download this file, pop it in your 3D printer, and get the guts out of this thing, put it into something else that maybe may meet your needs better, that can allow you to play PC games.
Yeah.
That'd be great. So,
because barrier of input device has always been a big thing for the PC generation.
Yeah.
They gave you the means to make the controller to fit your needs. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah. Man, 3D printers are cool.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, man. All right, let's move on to email this week.
What's up, email?
So Robert C writes in with an email that's a little bit longer, but it's a topic I've been following lately, and I think it's kind of interesting. So we might as well talk about it. This is maybe a little bit of internet inside baseball / drama, but we'll still talk about it. He says, "Hey, Boston and Knobs, got something for you to chew on. I don't know if you've
Okay.
heard, but recently Jim Sterling, a YouTube personality who basically makes his living from slagging on terrible indie games on Steam, was served with notice that he was being sued by a notoriously terrible indie developer. Have you heard about this, Knobs?
No.
Okay. Um, so for anybody that doesn't know who Jim Sterling is, he was like one of the founding members of Destructoid, sort of broke out on his own, and he makes weekly videos where he talks about topics and he quote-unquote reviews indie games, but a lot of them are look at these bad indie games that come out on Steam. I find them pretty entertaining. Quick background, the developer in question, Digital Homicide, put out a game on Steam called The Slaughtering Grounds. It quickly made Sterling's poop list, and Digital Homicide have been angry ever since. The history is a lot longer than that and involves quite a bit of chicanery on behalf of Digital Homicide, including company name changes and outright slander against Sterling himself. Despite all this, they keep pumping out crappy games using pre-bought Unity assets and stolen theme/titles, and Sterling keeps laughing all the way to the bank. Now Sterling is being sued for libel by Digital Homicide. Obviously, these guys don't know what they're doing, as they are acting like kids on a playground after someone tells a joke at their expense. It's a scare tactic that won't get anywhere in the courts. So I guess where I'm going with this is this really the future of the games industry? Are we going to have to deal with constant deluge of crappy indie games from crappy developers who throw temper tantrums at the drop of a hat? Is there anything Steam can do about it? It is, after all, their platform that most of these games are coming out on. And what do you think of the litigious nature that the gaming industry as a whole seems to have suddenly picked up in the last 10 years? Thanks for your answers and for the awesome podcast. So there's a lot of topics here. I watched a lot of Sterling's videos over the last week or so because I thought it was really interesting that a developer would come out and say, we don't like the harassment that you and your community have leveraged against us, so we're gonna sue you. So from Jim Sterling's standpoint, he reviewed this game, Slaughtering Grounds, and review might be a little bit generous. It's more of, look at this bad thing, look at how bad it is. And from his standpoint, it was, here's a game coming out on Steam, I think it was about $10, that is just a poor experience. It does not look good, it does not play well, there are inconsistencies in what the game is telling the player, it's just a bad experience, look at this bad thing. And the developer really got a bee in their bonnet about his review of the game, but then continued to get upset about how they felt they were being badgered by Jim Sterling's community. I think this isn't the first time that a developer has, as Robert here says, throws a temper tantrum at criticisms, but I think it's one of the most vocal. When you look at who was it recently? Kotaku, I think it was, or maybe it was Joystick before they got closed, got blacklisted by Ubisoft. When most large publishers or developers don't like coverage, they will just blacklist you, and you just won't get review games, and you won't get your emails or phone calls returned, and they just throw up the wall and you're done. I don't think it's... I'm trying to think of... And Knobs, you can help me maybe. I don't know of the last time that there's been something that is so public about somebody saying, like, hey man, you reviewed this thing we made and your review sucks, or like you're being a jerk, or maybe Alien Isolation.
Yeah, but
when Randy Pitchford was going crazy about that.
Nothing's really jumping out and hitting me with someone that expressed their opinion, because essentially all a review is an editorial.
Right.
You're not.
It's an opinion.
Right. It's everything's an opinion.
Yeah.
So, I mean, come on, free speech, dude. I mean,
and I think the thing is, the truth has to be somewhere in between with these these two parties, because basically if you watch Jim Sterling's video about basically his recap of his spat with his company, Jim put out this video, and then the developer comes back and they take Jim's video, and then they start overlaying snarky and insulting text over the video just at large, and they start insulting Jim like over his own video. So, and I think their initial feedback was interesting, even though it was delivered very poorly. Their feedback was, well, one, you didn't finish the game. You played maybe an hour, and we don't think that is maybe a fair snapshot of the game we're trying to present. Which, sure, it's fair.
Yeah.
Some games you can kind of tell early on, as I would believe with this game, even though I didn't play it. And one of Jim's other criticisms was, well, you're using pre-purchased assets. So you're buying something from a Unity asset store, you're tossing it into your game, and you're charging too much money for it. And I think the developer had something interesting to say when they came back, and it's like, look, we don't have a ton of artists. We don't have a ton of modelers. This is a cost-effective way for us to buy pre-generated assets that we were making a zombie game. We bought a bunch of zombie assets and we tossed them in our game, and our work is done. You know, we spent the money, and I think there's something to be said about that, but their delivery of it was just sort of like double middle fingers in the air. Just being like, well, this is the game we're making. This is just... Yeah, exactly, like Knobs' Rick and Morty picture back there. And I think the other interesting wrinkle here is that the developer keeps coming back and be like, no, we're a serious game developer. We're making serious games. We're putting out games that are of a certain quality. And Jim is coming back and looking at the rest of their catalog, and even looking, you're looking through the lens. You're looking through his lens when he's reviewing these games. Right. They're not great games. They are hastily put together, very bug-ridden games from what Jim is presenting us. So it's not like someone comes and they say the first BioShock is a poorly made video game. Not really.
Right.
Maybe you didn't like something about it, but the first Dead Space, that's a bad video game.
The game's perfect.
It's not a bad video game. It just, maybe you don't like horror games. Maybe it never clicked with you, something. But it's made to a certain quality level that you can look at it and say, maybe it never clicked with me, but I can respect what it's doing, and I can respect how it was made. These games,
Yeah. I mean, they're going for a quick cash in. I think they're more offended that whoever's funding them may notice what this guy had presented, and probably not the best medium in the world.
Right.
I mean, number one, if a podcaster or YouTuber is going to get yourself in a goat, maybe you need to reevaluate what you're doing.
Well, and also, like, I think it's an opportunity to, if you feel that the criticism is being unfairly leveraged against you, you can take it as an opportunity to make a better game the next time and say, all right, well, here's all the criticisms. Can we learn anything from this? Can we improve in our next game? But the games that they keep presenting it's the sort of stuff you would see on the 360.
Shovelware.
Well, it's the stuff you'd see on the 360 when you went into the indie games marketplace.
Yeah.
Sure, there were a handful of really good games. The rest of them were maybe somebody's first game, or maybe one developer using the tools that XNA gave them to make something. It's not something you were seeing on, maybe it wasn't bad, but it wasn't what you were seeing on the Xbox Live Arcade, where you're getting sort of more of a polished product. And that's okay. That's okay to come out with a game that maybe isn't everything you wanted it to be. Not every episode of this show is perfect. But we're trying to improve. Please don't go. Where are you going? No, come back.
No, but again, like you're voicing someone's opinion of your product. I mean, you can either take that constructively or you can take that offensively,
Right.
and it seems like they're doing the latter.
And
That
almost amplifying it
yeah, and
by
if it
saying
was
like, well, this guy is dumb, his opinions are dumb. It's like, well, now you have a magnifying glass on yourselves a little bit.
right now, if now the smarter course of action would be to go after him by producing something that's of quality and something to be that he has to eat his own words that hey, maybe these guys do know what they're doing.
Exactly.
But instead of throwing a tantrum and calling the guy out or editing his videos to make him look like a fool, like that's completely counterproductive.
That's playground stuff.
It, yeah, well, your mom and
Your
stuff.
mom's so fat.
Yeah.
Like, and that's really all it is. And it's, I don't know, it's interesting. It seems like a lawsuit. I'm not a lawyer. It seems like a lawsuit that doesn't have much foundation because
No.
I, from what I have seen of these videos, and I watched a handful of videos that Jim has done on the topic, it never really seems like it's to the point where he is insulting or singling out this developer unduly. It's a lot of it is, here is a game, here's why this game is a poor video game, a poor experience, and then here are all these other video games that have come out since that are all poor experiences and sometimes nearly carbon copies of each other. And there are multiples listed in Steam. So he's merely saying, I find this situation frustrating. And that's okay. And I
It
think
is because in his realm of editorializing his experience, that's his opinion and his opinion alone.
right. And I think to Robert's other question is, what can Valve do on the Steam store? I don't know if they want to do too much more because they have a solid rating system in place that usually, unless somebody gangs up and uh, rates stuff more positively than it should be or more negatively than it should be, usually you can look at a game and say, all right, the reviews say mostly negative, and you can go through and you can read them. Maybe that's not a great game. But this game says mostly positive or mixed. I can go read the reviews and figure out, oh, maybe this game is just in a genre that somebody didn't really like. But that sounds exciting to me,
Yeah.
So I think they're doing an okay job already. I don't know if you would want to. I don't know if they would want to be the Valve and the Steam that was even a couple years old, where there was this big brick wall where it's like, no, indie games, no, thank you. And
Yeah.
that's not. EA and Ubisoft have pulled out of Steam, so you don't really want to put that wall up. You want to keep bringing more games in, even if some of the games are not really that
Well,
great.
even on that, I mean, even at that point where they don't want to go to the point where it needs to get the Valve seal of approval.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, I think that would limit their marketplace more because who has the resources to try every game?
Right.
They need to let the community handle their rating system, which fairly works well.
It's not perfect, but nothing ever will be.
But yeah, and on the same token, and I really think this is to what's the guy's name again?
Robert?
Robert. To his not him doing his due diligence by finishing the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think that maybe their argument is that they did not complete the work itself to form a complete opinion.
Yeah.
And I know, I mean, they're games that you can't get through, but I mean, if you're going to add your opinion, I mean, I think that needs to be played through 100%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think the experience there is so short, and you and I and everybody who has ever played a video game, more than one or two video games, has picked up a game where you're like, man, this looks great, and you play it and you're like, holy hell, this is garbage.
Yeah.
And that happens, and we've done it on this show, and I think it's easy to keep your opinion. I think it's easy to say, I think this video game that I've purchased and played is bad.
Yeah.
Separating that from, I think these morons that made this game should be pulled out on the street and shot. That's where maybe the lawsuit area
Yeah.
lands. When you take it from this product is bad to these people need to have X, Y, and Z happen to them.
Well, yeah. I mean, then you're back into the UA Bowl situation
Right.
again, where you have the director trying to fight people,
Physically
like
punch people.
physically punch people.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think when you look at Sterling's criticisms, I think they look at a game and they say this game is bad. And then the developer starts putting pressure on Jim and he says, well, let's look at the rest of your games. All of these games are bad. But at no point, I never felt like at any point it was
Malicious.
Yeah, it was never really malicious. It was never saying like, and I don't want to put any words in anybody's mouth, but it never felt to the point where there were any real substantive accusations being thrown around.
Well,
but again,
I mean, it's not the guy's first rodeo either.
No,
so
he's been in the games industry and been a hugely controversial part of the games industry for, I think, the better part of a decade at this point. So when he was getting so much crap when he was reviewing stuff for Destructoid, it was ridiculous. But that's part of his appeal is you watch him rip terrible games apart. Partly because they just look terrible.
Yeah.
So, and they're going to be bad games.
So, I mean, I would think that developer just needs to suck it up and prove him wrong. Like, throw it back in his face.
It's the kill him with kindness sort of thing.
Yes.
Just go out there and make a really great game. Or don't, and stop getting upset about it.
With your purchase assets.
And maybe that could happen. Or hire a modeler and an artist and start making your own assets. So,
well, I think they're more upset by their business model. Is they're just there to shovel out stuff and produce a product and not care what that product is when it's done.
Right.
Which I'm sure at some point they did, but deadlines and X, Y, and Z, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And I think they've been called out on it, and it makes it very difficult for someone that can see the strings for the puppet. And
right. Right. Well, that's all of our emails this week. Thank you very much, everyone, for writing in. Actually, it was just Robert. Thank you, Robert, for writing in.
Yes, Robert.
If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Email us, tvgpfans@gmail.com. Tweet us at tvgp. Write in the whole week. I save them up. Robert wrote in yesterday. I saved it.
Yeah.
I save all your stuff. I'll read them every Sunday. Everything else is on the right-hand side of the page.
And don't forget to join the forums. Please mark yourselves on the map that is in the off-topic thread. Come join us for our game nights. Monday night, 10 p.m. EST on the Xbox One. Probably playing something, most likely Battlefield 4.
Yep.
Depending on the attendance. Also, Tuesdays, Destiny. Wednesdays, Rocket League on a PlayStation 4. Thursday is Steam game night. And Friday through Sunday is, hey, John's probably playing Borderlands and going to play.
Yeah.
So, I'll be around.
Just hop in.
I'll be in the blands.
And don't forget our Game Club Game of the Month this month is FTL Faster Than Light. It's really great. I've been playing a bunch of it here. Go pick it up. It's I'm sure you have heard it's hard. It's not that bad. It's just random. So, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. It's a great game. And don't forget you can watch the show live, twitch.tv/E1M1 Network every Sunday, and youtube.com/thatvideogamepodcast for all of our archives. If you're listening to the audio version of this show, check out this week's video. We talk a lot about movies. We give you some good recommendations, some good recos.
Yes.
So go check them out. And I think that's it. So thank you very much, everyone, for listening, and we'll see you all next week.
Laters. Oh, boys. Settle down.
All right, I have 4 titles. Swinging at Racks, High Five in a Turbo Mansion, The Cloud Will Take Care of It, the rest, and Xbox 5001.
Xbox 5001.
That was gonna be my vote. It's
But I still love the thought of a high five in a turbo mansion.
yeah, that's a pretty snappy title. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 440 from March 28th, 2016. Xbox 5001.
Now in black denim.
That was good. All right, thank you very much, everyone, for listening this far. If you listen to it, thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, the whole thing on YouTube.
Yes,
Thanks.
go find Duel to the Death. Watch it.
Yes,
It is awesome.
Duel to the Death, Sleepaway Camp, boom, and then watch Kung Pao.
Yes.
It's really good. All right, see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.